Since you're attacking us, can you give us a question? Mr. President-elect.
Go ahead.
Mr. President-elect, since you are attacking our news organization, can you give us a chance?
Your organization
You are
is
attacking
terrible.
our news organization.
Your organization
Can you give us a
is
chance
terrible.
to ask a question, sir?
Go ahead.
Sir, can
Quiet.
you state,
Quiet.
Mr. President-elect,
Go ahead.
can you state
She's asking
categorically,
a question.
Mr.
Don't be rude.
President-elect, can you give us a question?
Don't be
You're
rude.
attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
Can you
No,
give
I'm not
us a
going to give you a
question?
question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir,
Go ahead.
can you state categorically?
Hi folks, this is Peter Boykin and this is #GoRight. I am calling out fake news, never Trumpers, and the swamp, and all of your colleagues are liars for over 6 years now about Donald Trump, POTUS number 45, and his family. You not only promoted, but took part in Hillary's, Obama's, Biden's weaponized DOJ, the FBI, the CIA created the Russian collusion delusion. You covered up the FBI's committing perjury 4 times about a fake dossier that they knew was fake, just to subvert democracy, which are a republic, honestly, with the real big lie against an innocent man, his family, and his team. It's time for all of you to be sued into bankruptcy. By the way, fake news, Trump had 232 endorsed wins across the nation in our midterms and only 22 losses. I think that's called winning. This is Peter Boykin for #GoRight. We'll be right back, and let's talk more about what's going on about fake news and how to avoid it. We'll be right back with this story from Go Right News. You can follow us on GoRightNews.com for more information. Hi, fellow patriots. This is Peter Boykin from #GoRight. Share this right now. Time to go right.
Challenge you on one of the statements that you made in the tail end of the campaign in the midterms. That
Here we go.
That if you don't mind, Mr. President,
come on.
that this is an invasion.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN,
All right.
and if you did it well, your ratings
Let
would
me
be
ask,
much
if
better.
I may ask
that's
one other
enough.
question, Mr. President. If I may ask
Peter,
one
go
other
ahead.
question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's
Mr.
enough.
President,
That's
I was
enough.
going to ask one of the other folks.
That's
have had-
enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr.
Excuse
President,
me. That's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other
Peter,
question,
let's
if
go.
I may ask, on the Russia investigation. Are you concerned that you may have?
I'm not concerned
indictments-
about anything with
that you
the
may have
Russian
indictments coming down?
investigation because it's a hoax.
Are you-
That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
Mr. President.
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN. Go ahead.
I think that's unfair.
You're a very rude person. The way you treat Sarah Huckabee is horrible. And the way you treat other people are horrible.
Mr. President, you repeatedly, over the course
Okay,
of the...
just sit down, please. Well, when you report fake news, when you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
Hi, folks. This is Peter Boykin, and this is #GoRight. I have noticed a surge in negative articles about Trump coming from publications that never liked Trump to begin with. In that same breath, these places pump pro-DeSantis quote articles and loosely done polls that suggest DeSantis over Trump. But honestly, folks, if you fall for any of these loosely based articles, then you're dumb. The media is bought and paid for. Pay attention. Obviously, you don't know what fake news is. All this time, you still don't know what fake news is. Now, before you want to defend how great a Governor DeSantis is, I'm not telling you I hate the guy. I'm not saying he doesn't have potential. But what I'm telling you is pay attention that Republicans are being pushed toward a candidate and that those behind the curtain want you to get behind that person. DeSantis is a comfortable, controllable, easy pick to replace Trump is what they want you to believe in. But I'm not falling for it, and neither should you. Call it establishment, swamp, never Trumpers, rhinos, cabal, whatever you want to call them. They will not be able to use fake news stories and money influence to push and pump bullshit to drive me towards a certain direction. You really need to start paying attention to the patterns, folks. You know, your phone, they pop up, the news pops up, it kind of gives you a certain direction. It knows what you're interested in, and next thing you know, you're being promoted a certain narrative. But think about it. Where are they directing us to? And what are they directing us from? Have you noticed that the so-called news rarely reports on the real issues that matter? They tend to drive you, to some celebrity gossip, or like a trial with the Depp versus Heard on Fox News. Why was Depp versus Heard on Fox News? Meanwhile, it pulls you away from real cases like Ghislaine Maxwell, and what really led us to Ukraine, Russiagate, and all that other stuff, and the Hunter Biden laptop, or what Hillary did with her email, or how about all the rampant election issue? What I try to do is I try to cover as much news as I can. Now, people ask me, why didn't you cover this? Why didn't you cover that? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? Frankly, there's a reason why I usually hold off and don't report right away. I know it's called, MAGA first, go right, try to get the news out right away. I tend to look for pattern. I tend to look towards the whole picture. Some news I put out quickly, some I'm interested in, some I think that are newsworthy to be talked about. I seek out things that other people aren't normally talking about. And when I do talk about similar subjects that other people are talking about, I wait a little bit. I gather facts and some information. And I will admit if I get something wrong. But I get to choose what I cover. And that's the perk of being an independent citizen journalist or opinionist. I didn't go to college for journalism. Much respect for the people who are really trying to be journalists. But most places are bought and paid for. Now I push back and I research what's really going on. I suggest that you start dig a little bit. Start by using a tool like Telegram to find real news. But FYI, real news usually starts places like Telegram. Then sometimes it goes mainstream. It's an information overload. Now remember, mainstream news is a business, and the stories covered are nothing but PR, paid news, fake news, what people are interested right at the moment, what one of them push. And that's where they get you to go a certain direction. Don't buy into it. I, for one, I purchase everything that I do. I have to pay for the website. I do the news myself. Nobody directs me a certain way. I know in the past, some people go, oh, you must be directed a certain way. Somebody's backing you up, or somebody's doing this. Do you think if somebody backed me up that I would be as so-called unpopular, even though all the stuff I've done for the years? The right-wing media contact me and interview me. Do I be on my own Fox News or anything like that after all these years? But other people are, because I'm not rich. I don't have a way to pay my PR and get it out there and get in mainstream. And obviously I don't fit the narrative. So again, don't buy into this fake news crap, people. I will deliver the best I can at GoRightNews.com and through the hashtag GoRight with Peter Boykin podcast as much as I can. I'm switching up formats. I'm doing different things every day. I'd love feedback. I would love for people to support. You can support me through the PayPal, paypal.me/MAGAFirstNews, or Cash App. It's Peter Boykin, $, or I do actually still have a Patreon. A few people subscribe. Patreon.com/Peter Boykin, or you can even pay me directly through Facebook. Every little bit goes right back into paying for the monthly cost of keeping this stuff going. And I'm hoping that you're enjoying what I do put out, and I hope you share it. Together, though, we are going to hashtag GoRight fake news. Don't buy into fake news, and pay attention to alternative news. God bless everybody. Peace.